how to do grammar, how I learned grammar. I guess this isn't really a how to, but this is how I learned. Wait, what is it? How I learned grammar. In the 8th of grade, I was 7. That sentence had inconsistencies in it. It was incorrect. I don't know what age I was in grade 8, but what I do know is that's when I learned what grammar was. See, now before this time, me has only hurt of the sound of grammar as a word, and I didn't know what it meant as a meaning. Grammar crept up onto me one day. I was taking a shower before 8th grade, middle school. It was like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and I was in the shower. And when I was changing music, there was an ad that came up, and it was Grammarly. I'm not even kidding you. I remember this happening. I remember I used to stand in the shower like this for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. Was I doing the Pledge of Allegiance? No. I was just standing like this. I don't do that anymore, but for some reason, that's what I did. I would just stand in the water with my hand on my shoulder. What am I doing? Trying to be my own bodyguard, gang. But I vividly remember standing like that, and in my other hand, it opened an ad for the music, and it was for Grammarly. And I literally didn't know what freaking grammar was, gang. But I remember seeing it, and I was like, that's kind of cool. But if I'm not mistaken, it was the same week a new Fortnite season came out too. So I was like pretty obsessed with that. So I remember seeing that a lot in the shower before school. Because I was looking up the new Fortnite drops because I was going to talk about it at school. Which I remember doing. Sometimes I don't like remembering this much. Because I'll be talking to other people that are near me and like close to me. And they talk about how they don't really remember that vividly at all. Like they remember stuff, but it's like as like a memory. But I'll remember stuff and it's like still here. It's very odd. Like I get how that seems like I'm trying to be all like, yeah, I can remember and you can't. But it's kind of scary because it makes me forget like what's going on sometimes. Because I will literally get spawned back like years and years and years to this very vivid memory where it's like hard to discern time. If that makes sense. It feels like everything's just a constant new memory because they all feel so equal because they're all just as vivid. Where it's hard to grasp time when that's what's going on. And I think that's pretty scary. Like I can just think back to a middle school morning of being in the shower. Like when I was there, did I think that I'd be thinking back? Like, isn't that weird? That's an invasion of privacy. I never said that me now could look at me then. Anyways, I have no clue what grammar like means anymore. I just know that it's like doing something about a sentence that's correct, but I just feel it out. Like I want there to use. I just like know. I don't get why people have that confusion. I don't get why I cannot speak. I don't get why people have confusion about that because it's pretty simple. There was there. Isn't there just two types? Over there was their bag of theirs. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Because a woodchuck could probably chuck as much chuck as a woodchuck would chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, but it doesn't and it can't. So it has zero, none. Because why are we doing this stupid hypothetical if it's not even going to happen? Imagine how the woodchuck feels if we walk up to the woodchuck and just start singing at that little song, but the woodchuck can't even chuck any wood. It's just going to look at you all sad and it's going to be like, why did you bring that up to me? I didn't want to think about that today. I just got over it last week, right? I had another breakup today and now you're reminding me of this nonsense once again that I can't chuck any wood. All I wanted to do was chuck some wood. It got taken away from me from the start. My whole entire life has just been mocking. It's just been mocking everywhere. It's like, how am I second a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck can't chuck no wood, gang? Now what? Now what's the woodchuck gonna do? Does the woodchuck have any other tricks? Or is that what everyone knows me for, right? That's what the woodchuck... If I was to define grammar, I would be like the feeling that a sentence makes sense. That's good grammar. If someone walks up to you and they go, me has gone bye-bye, you're gonna look at them and be like, that's not correct English, silly goose. You should try again. Because if you keep talking like that, they're gonna put you in the mental institute. And that would be classified as bad grammar, okay? Are we learning now? I hope so. Because that's the lesson. I don't know how to teach you grammar. What are you expecting? I'm not a teacher. I before me, except after we. E before I, except after Y, right? Something like that. Y is sometimes a vowel, sometimes it's not. Y is just doing its own little thing. You know, I love the letter Y. It's at the end of my name. That means a Y will always be a part of me. Y is pretty cool too because Y is also the same word. Well, I mean, it's like, I guess Y is the letter I was talking about, but the letter Y is the same, like, saying, like, when you say Y, you can also say Y, like the word Y, the WHY, which is confusing because it has a Y in it, but the Y is made of a Y. But it almost feels like that's how I feel because every time I ask why, I feel like there's so many more questions to be answered. And then all I'm doing is asking why again. But then I zoom in and then it's a why. And then I zoom in on that and it's a why. But I can't really teach you grammar because in middle school, I thought I was dyslexic. So I don't got much. I know what a verb is. I'm running. You're scary. That's an adjective. Scary, running. Subscribe if you want to be more likely shown my videos in the future. Like this video so more people get to see it. And then listen to my music on all platforms. Blakey, all plats. Blakey, music. Blakey, music. Blakey, music.